What's the delay? Oh, okay. 'Cause it still ain't popped up yet on my YouTube. Oh no, it says live now. Yeah, what's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games BS, brought to you by Den Media Group, presented by AlphaMaleJacks.com. I don't ever know if I really get it right in the right order, but whatever, close enough. Make sure when you're coming in, make sure you greet everybody first before I give our sponsor. Say good morning, just a little good morning. And then make sure you hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you're just finding this on social media, please jam the subscribe button. Consider becoming a member as well. If you are also in here, if you wouldn't mind sharing this to your social media pages, just trying to grow the vibe, grow the good morning vibes out there. Yeah, a lot of stuff went down this weekend. A lot of fun stuff. Great weekend in football in general. No matter if your team won, lost, um, you know, we'll get into a lot of those different things. But first and foremost, I need you guys to go to alphamelejacks.com. Again, whew, when losses started to happen, people get really hormonal, extra hormonal. People start talking to people different ways. One thing I want people to realize: you do not know any of these people. I repeat, you do not know any of these people. You have probably never met any of these people. You've probably never grabbed a cup of coffee with any of these people. Do not lose your real friends or people that you actually like because of celebrities. Most of these people would not piss on you if you were on fire. And they damn sure ain't going to be the person to lend you $20 or go feed your family. Don't lose years of friendships because you feel the need to back a narrative that you don't even realize was presented to you and warped your mindset. It's a lot of power behind this microphone, whether it's only 50 people watching it or it's 50,000 people watching it. That's why I like to try to take so much responsibility with the things that I say and take ownership, because people believe it. For whatever reason, people believe that people, especially like one comedian said, I think people who give opinions should have to wear sweatsuits, and people who actually give facts should have to like argue facts, like news anchors and stuff, should have to wear a suit. Because if somebody wears a suit, you automatically believe that they're somebody. Maybe even turtlenecks. We'll get into that in a little bit later. If you watched, we got some good content that's dropped. We got some hymns. There was a lot of hymns out there this weekend. Jesus was in full effect, man. I'm talking about testify. Shout out to my nephew, Kalen DeLoach, for going out there and bearing witness to the Clemson faithful inside the valley of the shadow of death. But Alpha Male Jacks, alphamalejacks.com is go-to website, go-to clinic in the Jacksonville area, or even if you're not, you could go. If you're over 30, male or female, we are giving free blood panel evaluations, which means we'll tell you what lab to go to. Go get your blood drawn. We want to get these tests. You'll get a call with Christina, and Christina will go over where your hormone levels are and what are the steps that we can take to be able to get you to fully living your best life, to get you as close to you were to back to when you were in your fighting shape, your fighting weight. They'll check your testosterone, your estrogen, your hormone levels, all kinds of different things. Go to alphamalejacks.com. Check it out. Trust me, I'm going over there on Wednesday to get my blood work done. Going to make sure, again, I want to get back to my fighting weight. A lot of football. So football's in the air. Jacksonville Jaguars play a home game. So that means my Friday, Saturday, Sundays are full. I had a fucking crazy ass weekend. Lost to Creekside. I was 1-3 in sports this weekend. Very bad. A lot of close losses. Well, outside the Jags loss. We lost to Creekside, which is kind of like a rival, but I don't like it because we can't beat them. It's always weird. Something weird happens. We were whipping their ass until we weren't. I'm not going to get into that. But then I got this picture, and I knew my son was going to be in a dogfight. They lost 12-6 to Creeks. But if you find that picture with the circle, Miles, I want people to realize this is what my son had to go up against. This motherfucker is big as me. So if you're looking at this on the YouTube, which is what you should be, if you're not, then I need you to leave SoundCloud or the other this out. But this giant is what my son had to block against all Saturday. And his coaches were getting mad. They were like, man, they were like, man, we don't you're not snapping good enough, bitch, because I have a 6 foot, 275-pound 10-year-old in front of me. Like, I am not used to this, sir. Like, this is like what again, this is one of the benefits. It's not real football until you play in unlimited leagues. The problem is, I know this kid is probably 11. He's probably one of those late guys. That's a big kid. That kid should probably not be playing against normal size 10-year-olds, but whatever. It's also the same time of year, but I left after we played Creekside. We drove all night to get to Clemson, South Carolina. Then after that, we drove all night to get back so I could be in the press box for both of those games. But here's what I always notice when I get into the press box of Jags games. So, and this is why I do what I do. And I got my man DJ Times 904. Clearly you don't watch First Coast News, which we need to get that changed. You can put his own comment up on there, Miles. We got to get that changed for you. We got to listen to the real. This show right here, we cover Jags. We'll do more Jags coverage. I tweet about them. My man says, James, it's early, but we need you back on Jaguar coverage. We fans all drunk the local media Kool-Aid. Is this team not as good as they're hyped up to be? I will talk about this in a second. But every time I go to the press box, I look directly across from me. I'm in the air condition. It was a little warm because where I sit at, I'm a king up there. I'm front row. Local media is front row. And I'm not on 1010 XL. Probably won't ever be back on 1010 XL. And that's your problem. You listening to 1010 XL, there is really good coverage. You got to listen to Bull City Brigade, all those guys for the Jags. That's who I listen to, but I'm not able to be there. But in that section over there, Miles, do you know who's sitting there? That's the smart kids. You know what that tells me? Those kids aren't very smart. It's literally called the honor rows. There's nothing honorable about sitting next to Jesus on the day when this is hot as the devil's anus. Like, this is where they always put the kids. And I've told my son, if they come to you and they say, hey, you make good grades, this 9 weeks, we're going to give you tickets. I'm going to say, make a B. Make a C. I'm going to be okay with it. Let's pick a class. This is the class we're going to tank in right now. We will never be that academic of a family where we're that hard up for tickets to where we're going to go set up. We're going to climb Jacob's ladder to be able to go watch a football game. The reality of the situation is this is why I give away tickets. I give away tickets because I just can't. I don't think kids deserve this. I think if you make the honor roll, like, you should be able to at least, like, they've built these seats, right, that are on the sideline. One, they said 61,000 tickets were distributed. Bullshit. There was not 61,000 people in that stadium. But they should let the kids sit on the sideline. Give them access to some cool shit, man. Like, I don't understand why they do this stuff, man. But yeah, it was definitely some bad Kool-Aid. My man B. Lynn is bragging about how he's probably going to go back-to-back on the NFL pick'ems. I don't even know where I stand at. I picked the Jags to beat the Texans, so fuck it. That's why I don't gamble with the NFL stuff. I do know I almost won the college football. Man, I gotta get you the login. You said you want to play the pick'ems, right? Yeah. I almost won the college one because I predicted Arizona State, USC. But yeah, but I didn't. I was almost until I realized that I think it was somebody else. I think I picked was it the Utah game that they covered? Anyways, it was wild. But going into all of that stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot where we're at. We're inside the greatest cigar lounge in America, Goodfellas. Come here, get all kinds of drink specials, all kinds of different things. But covering the Jags, this is my first time being in the press box all year. I was not able to get there last week for the Chiefs game. Had a lot of stuff going on, but it's fun. Like the press box is kind of cool. It's especially there's a difference between the college press box and the pro press box. College press boxes, oh my God. FSU beat at times, very pretentious, very on air. It's like, I'm Warchek, I'm 247, I'm this. We're gang. Man, bitch, if y'all don't shut y'all bitch asses up and start smiling at each other and enjoy this comfortability that we're in, NFL press box, no beef. Everybody talks to everybody. You like ESPN, you like Mike DeRocco? He's right there. Weird voice and all. You want to talk to all the guys? Like they're there. Like it's the only people that's kind of weird is 10 people, but they're only weird to me because a lot of the motherfuckers ain't know I was alive. And they keep trying to figure out why the fuck am I here? I like the only way to work in sports media in Jacksonville is through 1010XL. Like, no, I actually accomplished something in life. I was good, and I'm actually good at my job, so I could do this. But it was fun. I will say this: press box food, you definitely got to make sure you work out because a lot of stuff really go like you'll gain weight. It's very flavorful. They had chicken wings. We had imagine because I'm kind of over breakfast food having to be served in the morning. Like, especially when you know the history of how our favorite breakfast food started. Like it typically was what you ate last night, the night before was what you like the meat you ate the night before was the meat that you got served for breakfast. And then also some marketing shit with the farmers and wanting to get anyways. One day if I get this channel healthy, I'll do like one of my favorite guys who had started off with a show called what was it, infographics or whatever, and then expanded it into a whole bunch of British dudes, expanded, like creates a new channel every other week, but it's all good stuff. Like milk's not something, milk was clearly marketed. Cereal is bad for us, but it was like marketed. Like everything you do, everybody thinks they think for themselves, but you're marketed to. I'm gonna get into that even more. Like you really don't know how brainwashed some of us are for the things that we think are everyday Monday things. But I say all this to say, I had Chinese food for breakfast. So we had beef stir fry, beef vegetable stir fry, orange chicken. Like the game starts at 1, so like you got to get there like at 11. Like we're eating like 10 o'clock, 11. Like ain't no eggs and grits and shit. This is what you got. It was actually yummy though. They have ice cream there for you to get. We had wings. They had chicken nuggets. I'm not gonna call them boneless wings. Motherfuckers, they had chicken nuggets that you could put sauce on top of. Saucy nugs, if you will. And there was just no fries though. It's weird. But also with your press pass, you can get into the premium seating cabana. Remember where you in Trey Sat Miles? Like I could get into that area and go eat and drink. And I want to do that next game. I should have done that this game, but I was glued to my seat because the Jags were getting their asses whooped. And I thought that it was going to stop, but I was wrong. CJ Stroud walked in that motherfucker like he was mad that he wasn't the number 1 overall pick. Like he was mad that the petite ass motherfucking in Carolina got picked before him. And he came and said, you know what? Somebody's got to pay. And what better week to get your first victory than against the Jags? And that's what CJ Stroud did. CJ Stroud came in, led the Texans to a resounding 37-17 victory in which the Jags were never close. The Texans were up 17-0 on the Jags going into halftime. They beat the Jags in the first half, and they beat the Jags in the second half, winning with 20 points scored in the second half. The Jags actually made it a comeback. It looked like it was about to be something. In the third quarter, they came out, scored with a quick score. They stopped them, kicked a field goal. Actually, Jags had a field goal block in the first half. But then something crazy happened. Excuse me, the Jags kicked the field goal Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, the Jags kicked a field goal. And then something that has not happened since 2005 happened. And it's one of the videos, Miles. You keep going there. This one, yeah. It hasn't happened since 2005, and ironically, it was a Jacksonville Jaguar that did this in 2005. A kick was returned. Well, James, kicks happen all the time. Kicks get returned all the time. No, not like this, though. A kickoff was returned by a fullback. The last fullback to return a kickoff for a touchdown before today was the Jaguars' Derek Wimbush in 2005, Week 12 at the Cardinals. I was torn. I was in the box, and you guys know me and my affinity for fullbacks and scoring touchdowns. I love it. If you want to win, give the ball to the fullback. But I never meant for the Jags or the other team to kick the ball to the fullback and let them score. It's typically like you give it to your fullback. This is not up. Now, in this, because there's people who are going to watch this on or listen to this in a different means and won't be able to see it. He muffs the kick. It was a pooch kick. He's not used to getting these. He drops it and then he picks it back up. And then he proceeds to score. He beats 3 angles. He breaks, I believe, 2 tackles. A fullback beat 3 angles, broke 2 tackles on a professional football team. It is a reason we play fullback. If we could do all that, we should be a tailback. Push play so that people can hear this. And it's, yes, people, I did give it to him because it was him worthy. Boy from Tampa, and he's a Pilgrim. Toting that thing. When I saw this, I just said, man, it's not in the cards for us to win. That's why people were like, James, you were actually really nice to the Jags on the news. You know why? Because shit like this doesn't happen all the time. Like, I mean, I'm mad at the special teams. We had a blocked field goal, obviously gave up a return. I mean, this ain't happening every week. This is when you know the game's not in your cards. Trevor Lawrence, people got mad at me because I was just like, yo, Trevor's not really accurate still. And he's not. Calvin Ridley, don't know what the fuck's going on with Calvin Ridley, but Calvin Ridley ain't doing very Calvin Ridley shit right now. Trevor Lawrence can't do it all by himself. And you watch a rookie quarterback with a terrible offensive line and again, none of you guys knew who this guy was. I'll show that video that you just put up. Like, nobody knew who the fullback was, and nobody really knows who the skill players are for the Jags. But I want you to see, you can't win games like this. The Jaguars' defense in the first 2 games have actually played well enough to win and be victorious. I have constantly in the media, since I've been in here, I critique the picks. James, you're just a Florida hater when they picked up CJ. I said, no, I knew CJ had mental issues. How the fuck don't they know CJ had mental issues when they drafted him number 9? And then tried to tell the world that, oh, he's going to be next to Jalen Ramsey. This is what the Jags have had. You had 4 first-round draft picks in 2 years. 2 of them are absolute fucking bust. CJ Henderson's no longer here. He's with the Panthers. This guy I'm about to show you has not done anything of note. He's never made a play that matters. He stinks. I told you he stunk. And everybody's like, James, what you got to do is you got to understand the potential. See, the Jags came out and said that they thought about drafting him at 9. And I said, all that tells me is that they were stupid enough to want to reach on him if CJ wasn't there. There's plenty of other players that they could get. Josh Allen was non-existent. So now you got Trevor Lawrence, which I'm not going to bury Trevor Lawrence yet because I still think Trevor's good. You got Travis Etienne, who fucking frustrates me because we're going to talk about Clemson. I saw Travis Etienne make routine plays on us for 4 fucking years, whoop the shit out of us. I hated him more than I hated Trevor Lawrence. But all of a sudden, he got the yips or some shit and just can't dodge a light pole. I'm not saying they're not good people. I'm just saying right now they're not showing us that they're good football players. I don't care if they're good people. I get paid to critique if they're good football players. Be a great Christian and great man of God, father, whatever the hell it is you is off the field. On the field, be a terrorist. My job is to critique that. Right now, the product stinks. Trayvon Walker, who I think is going to be a solid NFL player, who I've always consistently said should not have been the #1 overall pick, because you draft defensive ends #1 overall pick to rush the passer. We have consistently never drafted anybody who does a very good job of rushing the passer. We did it once. We got him in late rounds. We got mad. That was Yannick Ngakoue. And then we started, because his cryptic text and his cryptic tweets, and he was weird. Oh, well, we'll just get rid of him. Have you not realized, Jacksonville Jaguars and Jacksonville Jaguar fans, you are the problem. We are the, we'll talk about black women here later on in the show. We are the black women of the NFL. What do you mean by that? We are the ones who always say somebody fumbled us. It's always the ex's fault. But we always have these expectations of what somebody's got to do for us when they get here. And when somebody asks, well, why aren't you with the last person? Oh, well, they're the problem. Well, bitch, obviously, getting all your bills paid and all that other stuff, either they were doing it and you couldn't hold up to the end of your end of the bargain, or they weren't doing it and you're fucking lying. And right now, they weren't doing it. Like most black women don't have motherfuckers paying their bills. Most women. They also do stuff like this. This is their effort in the bedroom, and this is what they want you to accept. Watch one of our top 20 picks that we had for trading Jalen Ramsey, who has done nothing but win a Super Bowl. I think he played in 2. He's not in Miami, living his best life, all this other bad shit. But go ahead and look at this. This is the effort that a lot of women give in bed and wonder why they suck. If you don't know who you're watching, watch number 45 in all white. His nickname is Sack Guru. And watch what he doesn't do very well.
All right, we got our eyes on Chase on this play. Let's see what he does.
This man, go back, Miles Smith. Who is that? And you named the wide receiver. Watch this man get slow dance. Watch this man get. Watch Clavon Chase on boom. Watch. What do you call it? Like, is that a waltz? It's not a waltz. What would it be like when you just get it like you're in the club? They don't do this. Young people don't do this nowadays. But you got the hand, take him to the left, take him to the right, bring him down to score a touchdown, right? Scoot on left, scoot it. You can play an R. You know what? I'm not even gonna give him a hymn. I'm gonna give him an R. Kelly song, one of the 2-step songs. Step to the left, step to the right. I'm going to block your ass tonight. That's exactly what happened right there. Sandra, that's a great question. Probably LabCorp is where you could get that. But they're not going to talk about this on the show. They're just going to say a lot of stuff on radio. Loud noises. The Jags aren't any good. I can't believe this. Nobody's making a play. You can't make plays like this. This is what people. This is not. Mike Caldwell deserves to be critiqued because you put his ass out there. Mike Caldwell is the defensive coordinator for the Jags, but this is what Mike Caldwell has to say. I can't work with this kind of product. What am I supposed to do when a guy wants to get slow strutted and wants to do shit like dance with my father? That's basically all this is doing. He looks like what I looked like back in 2009 at your wedding. You got to do your dance with your mother or your father. That's exactly what Clavon Chason or Clavicle Chason or whatever the fuck his name is always doing. And I'm mad because he was drafted high and there were hopes. Fans should be mad. They have every right to be mad. They have every right to demand a better product. This man isn't terrorizing anything. All them moves that he did with a DB, with a defense, when they do all them different moves, the D-line, he's got a YouTube video doing that. Why didn't he do any of that shit? Not a move. He ran into the loving arms of an angel. Oh, and then don't get me started on this. What are you? Mouse, can you go back to the video? This is why somebody did say I should do Monday morning quarterback. Let's get to the other part because it's not always the DB's fault. Like here, we got a perfect throw. What? Who? Why? How? Why are you even in that position? Is that my man Cisco? Cisco, you're supposed to be in a position to unleash the dragon on this guy. How does he beat you? Let's go back. CJ Stroud good though. Yeah, go back to the because I want y'all to see CJ Stroud. Go a little bit. CJ is like unbothered. CJ's so relaxed. Haven't been to Florida in a while. Just gonna hang out here, check out the beaches, the bitches. Oh man, throw a little ball. Like this is like you ever seen them commercials where they're at the beach and the guy just takes the ball, boom, and he drops back, and they're like Viagra for men can get you back to your boost. Like, and it's like pat and go. We're just at the beach. We're at Amelia Island. We're gonna hang out. We're hanging out with the bros, drinking a cold one. Just come back. Just yeah, nobody's here to bother me. Just look at perfect. He was able to give perfect mechanics. Yeah, like you're not supposed to be able to give perfect throwing mechanics in the NFL. RJ, my well-built chicken brethren, we shouldn't have drafted them either. There was nobody. Devin Lloyd hasn't done anything. I don't want to talk about him too bad because his mom is a member here at Goodfellas. But that's not the point. The point is he hasn't been bad. He hasn't been great. We drafted in lineman and Anton. Anton fucked up his ankle. Like we put all the resources on offense, ain't doing shit on offense, and then the defense is letting a rookie quarterback who ain't won shit on one of the worst franchises in the NFL come in and do this. You want to know something wild? My bad. Most people are like, damn, James, when you gonna talk about the Seminole shit? Fuck you. I did a whole hour and 20 minutes on FSU Clemson yesterday, but we will get to FSU Clemson and all the other things going on in college football here in a second. 2019, you know who the first victory that the 0-1 Texans had? Us. 2020, the Texans were 0-4. You know who their first victory was against? Jags. 2021, start of the season. We were the first victory. Last year, 0-3-1. Do you know who the the Texans' first victory was? The Jags. They were 0-2 and still here. It's crazy, but it's not the end of the world. And it's not the end of the world because the Jags did that last year. Hold on. What the hell? Oh. So it happened last year. We won. We ended up winning the AFC South. Went to the playoffs, won a playoff game. I don't know how to fix clavicle chasing. That's bullshit. I don't know how to fix that. But you can, all of the other things are fixable. Trevor will get a little bit more accurate. Calvin Ridley still is explosive and dominant. The running game had times when it was looking really, really good. You just can't consistently go 3 and out and leave your defense on the field in the manner in which they left the field. So, like, left them on the field. That's really the big thing. They've got to get better. I hope my guy, well, T-Foot put it up there, so he ain't going to get in too much trouble. So, he follows me on IG as well. But, and again, it could be bad. But it's not the worst ass whooping that happened. And ass whoopings are never fun. You're not supposed to get beat that bad in an NFL game. I'm going to read these stats off and then I'm going to move forward because there's somebody who I actually really do enjoy talking bad about because everybody props him up. Because if you have anything bad to say about him and his performance, that just means you hate black women, you hate Sierra, and you love Future. But I don't hate any of them. I hate the fact that Sierra's husband sucks at football. His name is Sierra's husband until he starts performing better. But when you look at what the Jags did, 288 yards, 116 yards on the ground, it was it's well enough to actually win a game. But it's just not well enough when you're not putting points on the board. It's all empty. CJ Stroud, 20 for 30, 280 yards. They did not perform well on the ground. I want you guys to anybody have Tank Dell on their fantasy football team? You got nobody? 5'10", 165-pound wide receivers? Nope. Nobody have Tank Dell? Nope. Nobody. Okay. I did not know Tank Dell was going to come in and have a day on us, have a career day. Yeah, Nico. Well, Nico had 2 catches for 34 yards. The Tank guy, we might want to guard him. Most of the Tanks came on the one big play, but as I said, guys, it could be worse. It could be worse. You could be a Broncos fan right now. The Broncos went to Miami and got beat 70-20. Do you know how hard it is to score 70 points in an American football game, regardless of the level? But on a professional level, it was never close. They scored 35 points in the quarter. It was 35-13. Then they completely destroyed them, got them out of the paint in the third quarter, and then just said, you know what, we're going to run up the score. They had 203. One guy had 203 yards rushing. Man, that is some efficiency for your ass. Sierra's husband was 23 for 38, 306 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Was sacked once. That's crazy because he wasn't even he didn't even get his ass whooped. Raheem Mostert had 82 yards rushing. Chris Brooks had they was just a rushing 350 yards rushing in an NFL game. I wouldn't even know where to start. My first thoughts when I talked about the Jags thing was to tell them sometimes you just cannot watch film. You just got to throw it away. There's nothing you can get from that. There is absolutely nothing Sean Payton can give them in terms of hope, in terms of critique. You just got to say, you know what, on to the next week. Got to break down the next team. That Rabbit guy who I love following, I wish I could be one of these guys that every time he tweets something, he gets 165,000, 1 million, a bunch of engagements. And this is why I joke about this. I don't have a gripe against black women. I love black women. My mom is a black woman. Some of my best friends are black women. Isn't that how they do it? Did I do it right? But it's the Twitter stuff. Russell said, I got it. Well, not Russell. Future's I got it off the field. Fuck Russell. They say he always says something about Russell Sierra in the songs. And then there was this thread that went, I don't know why Future keeps doing that. Russell will whoop Future's ass. He's a football player. And I'm like, I don't know if y'all realize it. A lot of athletes can't fight. A lot of us might have come from the hood, but a lot of us wasn't scrapping like that. And Russell didn't come from the hood. Russell is not a scrapper. Russell is a lover. And there's nothing wrong with that. Y'all got to stop putting your own issues on that. But my guy y'all said Russell Wilson would beat Future up in a fight, and Denver ain't won a game since. Even if he could beat up Future, one thing we know he cannot do and the Denver Broncos can't do is beat an NFL team. But it's more to it. Imagine, if you will. Miles, you were a Patriots fan growing up, right? Yeah. So imagine you got, mom working with NBT or something like that. They helped you with you got access to them or something. They did stuff. They said, you know what? You can be a ball boy for the Patriots. And you grew up being a ball boy, even though he looks like a grown ball teenager is what he looks like in this picture. But you go off and you become an NFL coach, and now you get to coach against the Patriots. Would you beat them 70-20? Or would you be like, you know what? Some of my best memories are of here? Because Because if you look at it, Miles, if you go look at Bob B underscore suit, it's one of the pictures we have, one of the tweets. He was an actual ball boy for the Denver Broncos. Mike McDaniel. I'm gonna be honest with you. He looks a little bit more like, he's one of the black coaches, right? The Broncos. Yeah, he's quarter black, if you will, but his dad is very black from what they show. I would have never known this had somebody not told me. But like, he fits the I'm not sure that this is what the Rooney Rule's intentions were, but he fits it. It's under the it could be worse, like Colorado, right above the Colorado stuff with Deion. But like, actually, those last two, we're gonna need to open those. But Mike McDaniel apparently was a ball boy for the Denver Broncos, or a ball teenager, if we're to believe the graphic. But regardless, Miles is going to get that up. But let's play this first, Miles, because this is important. And I talked to you about this last night. Everybody talks about sports and they talk about motivations, and we're going to get into these things. They talk about stuff, but these are humans and they are human emotions. And people always ask if athletes care. We care in different ways. You don't become an NFL player, let alone an NFL starter, if you don't, in fact, have a little bit of care about winning and losing. You put your body through too much shit to not actually effectively care. This right here, I felt this man's pain.
Right now, what are the emotions like going through your head personally?
Shit. Shit. It's tired of losing, man. I've been here for 7 years and all I've done is loss, and it's frustrating.
Right now,
play that again, man. It's just that it don't matter. You could be, if you're happy right now, push mute.
what are the emotions like going through your head personally?
Shit. Shit. It's tired of losing, man. I've been here for 7 years and all I've done is loss, and it's frustrating.
Man, you can hear the pain. Just tired of losing, man. Yeah, you got to pick. I don't think this is a ball. This is a ball man. This is why people are like, James, why were you? Because bitch, we're not in Denver. Colorado took a collective L as a whole state. Like, they got their ass whooped. A lot of points scored in Colorado. Tough one right there, man. Feel bad for him. But you know what? I was also not mad because you know what I do every year? I cover the Super Bowl. If you go look at the big game, James, 36-1 in that same group. I don't know if you guys heard the news. Not that one. You're in Colorado. That's the next one. Like, same. Yeah, right there. Usher, baby, is going to be performing at halftime. And you know where I get to go every year? I ain't leaving the game this year. You damn right I want to see Usher perform. One of my friends texted me saying, actually she got a chance to see the All In experience. She was following me around. I told her she had to work. She was my camera girl. And I joked, she was just like, Yaz was like, do you want to, she's like, did you see his performing? I'm on the West Coast. Yeah, I'm trying to go. Would like to, work again. I said, hey, do you want to go viral? Do you want to pretend like he's calling you up to the stage and then I pretend like I'm mad? Like, what was that girl that did that? Not her and her baby daddy back together. Had all the women like, that's right, girl. He ain't paying no bill. Oh, another theme. He ain't paying none of your bills. You to this, you the queen, you the man of that house. You deserve the rules. You deserve an Usher. Man, yeah, I want to see Big Herp perform. I like his music, man. I think he's a diabolical creep at times, but his music's dope. Again, I can separate the person from the art. Like, I love the song Group Superstar. Amazing song. I'm gonna be like, baby, let me love you down. Or I hope Usher plays his pop songs, right? He needs to. But also, just for some of us, Usher, I would appreciate it. Bring Plies on the stage. Do Daddy's Home. And let him do his verse. You come out there, I just want to get your attention. I need you to do that, but then I need to hear, knock, knock, guess what the goes on? Then you can go to the next song. But we need that. So, again, that's the big, you got to be all in. Like, I think I'm going to cut off, if you're not all in from at least, I'll go ahead and say, you better, if you want to have the opportunity to kick it with me in the Super Bowl or in Indianapolis, you have had to have been an all-in member for at least 5 months. That's what we're going to say. It's minimum 5 months for you to have been there. You'll see a lot of stuff. I can't get you in. Actually, I don't know if I can or not. More than likely, I will not be able to get you into the Super Bowl game. But I can get you into all the other cool shit that's going to be happening that weekend. So going back to the rest of Colorado getting their asses collectively. Civil rights icon Deion Sanders suffered his first loss at the hands of the treacherous and racist Oregon Ducks, or so social media would have you believe. And what's funny is, I believe it's Finesse 2 Times. Dang, I needed that video. Finesse 2 Times, the prophet, said this first. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Fuck them. And what do you mean by that, James? Everybody is talking about Daniel Lanning, the Oregon coach, and the ass whooping that he put on Deion Sanders. And they're talking about how disrespectful it was. They're talking about, man, you're going to see. But we're going to start off with this. But they're talking about how he took it. So Deion said the Colorado State game before, or excuse me, the Colorado State game before was what? Personal. Now they're saying Dan Lanning, that was personal with Deion. So Deion can take it personal with this. And I want people to realize that sometimes it's really not you, right, that makes people upset. It's your fucking minions that make people upset. And it could be a little offensive. Dan Lanning has in his second year at Oregon, has done a really, really good job at Oregon. And they had everybody there. College game day, all that stuff was there. Miles, I want you to play this video, and I want people to see why the ass whooping was going to come. Outside the fact that Dan Lanning just wants to whip people's asses. But this, if they're interviewing you, this is probably not what you want to be doing in your interview.
Caused a little controversy since you said, quote, I don't remember them winning anything, referencing CU. A couple days ago, you were asked about it. You said you don't regret it. Why?
Yeah, I don't regret anything. Obviously, I'm always going to defend the University of Oregon, right? I'm going to focus on what we're doing and how we're making this organization great. Ultimately, it really has nothing to do with any other team. So that was my emphasis there. But if it's fuel for the fire, great for them.
All right, one more comment you made, and that was earlier today on Sirius. You saying, quote, at the end of the day, YouTube videos aren't going to win you football games. What are you specifically saying there?
I'm saying you got to play a football game. It's between the white lines. That's where football's played. It's not played on TV.
So that's not a shot at Colorado's social media team?
No, not a shot at them at all, man. That's about focusing on us.
All right. I want to talk to you a little bit more about Deion here.
I like him. Just out lie.
But what I'm saying is, you're interviewing the Oregon coach. You didn't ask one Oregon football question. All you did was ask about, you're trying to get him to debate something. But what I'm saying is, do you think that might have been, okay, I got, you don't want to, so you fuck what we doing over here. So only Colorado's doing the shit? Okay. Lanning's trying to keep it a G, you keep it football. Colorado, Nick Collins, one of their coaches, comes out and says that Dan Lanning, like, because again, every week they got to have something over. He said I couldn't coach. He said I wouldn't be a good coach. They put that up there. Now go ahead and play the next video. So now what he does, so what Dan Lanning does, and they record him, is he goes out and he gives, for people who don't know, he gives a speech basically similar to what every college coach in America says to their team before they play a game. I thought it was pretty good.
Not flash, rooted in substance. Not flash, rooted in substance. Today, we talk with our pads. You talk with your helmet, right? Every moment. The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks. We're fighting for wins. There's a difference, right? There's a difference, right? This game ain't going to be played in Hollywood. It's going to be played on the grass, right? It's going to be played on the grass. Let's go.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it with the full sincerity, and I hope it gets misunderstood, because a lot of you motherfuckers misunderstood anything. That motherfucker said y'all want to treat Deion Sanders like a civil rights icon. Well, call me Bull fucking Connor. If you don't know who Bull Connor is, go do your research. He beat the fuck out of them guys, man. And it was crazy because he did a lot of shit that would normally not be done. Like, you don't go for it on 4th and long in your own, like in your territory, and more than likely you don't convert it. But the cool thing is Dan Lanning actually could have beat him worse. He did call the dogs off, and were the blacks upset? Oh my God, were they upset? Oh, he's running up the score. You're only doing that because they're down. You wouldn't do that. No. It's like they forget that football is a man's game, and that you play it with the full intent to beat the fuck out of individuals. Like, you want to run up the score. Like, do you not think Deion would? If Deion would have had the opportunity, do you not think Deion wouldn't have ran up the score on him? I can tell you Deion would have ran up the score on him if he had the opportunity. That's like, and that doesn't make Deion a bad person. Like, that doesn't make Dan a bad person. I think that makes them a really good fucking football player. It's a lot that goes into that. But there's more. Oh, there is more to it. We got some more of those videos, Miles. There's tons of content when it comes to this. This was funny. Colorado and the people are mad that they were making fun of Deion. Oh, how dare you talk about this? And you, one person put, you should be happy that Deion is letting a bunch of people letting your players have exposure that they would never got at fucking Oregon. Do you know nothing about football in the last 30 years? Oregon literally is the one who invented the swag that our kids now, the drip that our kids have. That was Oregon. All the uniform combinations, that was Oregon. The reason why people want to have super built facilities, that was Oregon. Oregon been popping for quite some time. Exactly. It's the Floyd Mayweather and Muhammad Ali approach to sports that Deion Sanders is taking. And it's a good one when you're winning. But people are going to pay to see you win. But a lot of people are going to pay to see you get your ass whipped. Here's what Deion Sanders, in all his wisdom, has to say about what that loss was like. And this is why I'm not telling people, I don't care what you think. I care that you think. And all I have to tell people is, sometimes, do you understand why people might not like you? So play the Deion audio real quick, please. And let's hear what Deion.
I don't think it's a target on that back. I just think this just teams are trying to beat me. They're not trying to beat our team.
What? Teams are trying to do what? So Oregon isn't trying to win the Pac-12? They just want to beat Deion Sanders? That doesn't make any sense. Very good. What's funny is, and this is why I think we're losing. And I hate to. I talk about these topics because I like being, I like people understanding. And before we play the rest of Deion's thing, Miles, I'm pro my community. You could be black, white, or whatever. If you're for James Coleman and for Big Game, if you've done anything for my brand, you can have any access. I believe in group economics, but not necessarily the way that a lot of people preach group economics. All my skin folk ain't my kinfolk. And everybody that I fight isn't my enemy, and everybody that I fight for isn't necessarily my friend. But I will say this, the reason why we're struggling as black people is because it's fucking confusing to people who are non-black, the things that we choose to make issues. Like, any critique of Deion Sanders is his support, his not because I'm a supporter of Deion as a coach, but like his Uber supporters are going to make it a racist thing. I have never in all of my years heard, and we had Willie Taggart. I never heard some of these people come out and say they don't want to beat Florida State. They want to see Willie Taggart not succeed. And that's fucking crazy. But like, to say that this is you're making it personal and you're making it about you. But I will say this, in some kind of weirdo fantasy world, it kind of is a cool way to take the heat off of his players and put it back onto him. But go ahead, push play on the rest of the Miles.
They keep forgetting I'm not playing anymore. I had a great career. I'm serious. I got a gold jacket, ain't back. So I'm good. But that's what it really is. I don't think they get any extra satisfaction, you know. It is what it is. And I signed up for it, so let's go.
Yeah. I tell people this I tell people that in the comments. I lived a great life, but that don't take away that ass woman, though. You lived a great life. You did not have your guys prepared to compete on that day. And there's nothing wrong with that. That just happens. We all take at the same capacity. My mom always told me the same capacity you had to give an ass whooping, you got to be able to take one. That's a very good life lesson. And I know, without a doubt, I really think he believes that. And it's one of the cool things. It's why you buy into Prime, right? It's why I can get why Colorado hired him. You're going to bring the flash and the pizzazz. It's going to attract people. But man, one of the things that I said, I'm going to admit, I didn't think they were going to beat TCU, so I don't want to take that loss. Let me take that win away from them. Nebraska, I always said, was a toss-up. ASU was a toss-up. So they beat Nebraska. I'm be honest with you, I didn't think Colorado State game was going to be that close. But once I saw the Colorado State game, I was like, okay, it's only so long fake motivation can push you before the real comes up. Now, the other side of it is, too, maybe, Deion, it was a little personal for these guys. And I'm going to show you why it was a little personal. Go to the Oregon player and what he did. Now, before I play this, last week, all we heard was Colorado State disrespected Colorado by stepping on the buffalo in the middle of the field, by doing all these different things. We heard about Deion getting mad, and Deion always plays the victim. I think it was Alabama State last year, when he walked through the sideline. And I told y'all, like, again, oh, well, he's been doing that bullshit. I had a Miami Hurricane fan come in, not a fan, excuse me, player, defend what Deion did. I said, he said he's been doing it. I said, oh, so he walked through your sideline in the 80s? Y'all just let him punk y'all like that? You know what that Miami guy said then? Oh, I don't remember him doing that, because he didn't do it. Everybody knows in football that is blatant disrespect, and it's okay. when I stepped on logos when I played, I didn't do it for just to honor nobody. We was being disrespectful. But we don't throw stones and hide hands around here in the den. Tell the truth. It was being disrespectful, and disrespect got met with more disrespect. Let's listen to what the Oregon player had to say about what did Colorado do to earn that ass whooping.
It pissed me off. They came in yesterday, stepped on our O, spit, and all that stuff. You don't come into somebody's town disrespecting us, and that's the results you get when you do all that. No, we're fucking happy. Sorry for my language, but to finally get the chance to hit this guy, man. It was like on our hands, hit our hands the whole year just to get the Shador and to get the result like that. 7 sacks, it makes me happy, man. It's a great team, man. Great effort.
So I'm saying, like, again, so this is for the people. This is from what they've said, right? It's a football, and for all of us who realize that football is a violent sport. Do you believe that disrespect should be met with equal disrespect? I'm just a guy that believes that, like, to quote one of my favorite rappers and newly freed man from the Chinese, from the Asian oppressor, J. Wayne Jenkins, aka Young Jeezy. BG did just get out of jail, but Jeezy just got a divorce. Disrespect, we gonna take it there. And I think a lot of y'all like to talk tough, but have never been in tough situations where your toughness had to be tested. But they say you got to test the gangster. And they've been bullying people. And they're cool. Like sometimes, like the other part of it was it sins of a father? I joke about it all the time. Like the one thing I'm afraid of is watching, like I just talked about it before they were on the show. My son had a kid big as me in front of him on Saturday. I'm glad I wasn't there. I don't know how I would have handled that if I would have been there. I don't want to see my son get laid out. That being said, I was speaking at an engagement. My mom was there, and my mom got to witness her son put a lot of other people's sons on stretchers. I don't know if I'm strong enough to take somebody doing that to my son and not wanting to retaliate. So what you got to say is, hey, man, you wrote to quote another Southern rapper that everybody loves, T.I., you got an alligator mouth with a hummingbird ass. Your ass writing checks, your mouth writing checks that your ass can't cash. So you got to make sure, whoever's doing the talking, better make sure that either they doing the walking or whoever's doing the walking can cash that. So Deion, maybe they are trying to whoop your ass. And you're not, but you're right. You're not on that field. So just remember, every time you open your mouth and you invite all of this shit, to quote one of my favorite quotes, wars are started by old men and where the young men die. Just remember, your old ass is trotting out a lot of cats out there, and you got some motherfuckers that you got to face. Washington State's ranked, Oregon State's ranked. You still got to play Utah, which is just going to physically whoop your ass. And then you still got to go out here and you got to play USC next week. And you know what? What's going to be out there? College game day. Like, where else is college game day at for people who have never done anything? Before I go into my real problem with all of this is, I'm going to read this. Very, 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 very intelligent man by Dr. Kendrick Scott, played at Florida State. Last week after CU went 3-0, I thought that they played well, but I could see the mental fatigue. I posted that they, Coach Prime in Colorado, have to learn how to manage emotions because it is a long season and they really don't have enough depth and experience yet. My comments look like hate, and below is my response to a friend from that post. And Dr. Kendrick Scott played linebacker at Florida State, was a captain. All K. Scott said was, and what he said was the truth. You can't you're going to keep doing this, and you're going to end up fucking around and losing to a team that you shouldn't lose to. Keep everything. But the wildest part is that every day we talk about Black culture. And the part of Black culture, which is not a monolith, is what Deion is doing. And this is what people say, oh, they don't like a loud, outspoken, braggadocious person being successful. And the people I see tweeting this and putting it out are like the friends of mine. This is why I say, like, you guys know me. And you know what they always tell me? James, you got to tone it down a bit. And I'm like, you don't support what I do. You don't tell me to amplify what I do. You tell me to be more passive because, again, we know we tell kids to, which again, I think we should tell more kids if it's in your persona to be like Deion. I had to joke with people all the time. You know, when I became the most comfortable is when Trump became president. That's when I knew I could talk how I want, because now you can't tell me to not talk that way because I'm being presidential. Which, yes. But what I've always known is that people talk how they want to talk. They only tell young black boys to be passive and do all these different things. But the same people that were telling me to do these things and would tell my son, hey, man, pull your pants up. Hey, man, don't be so flashy. Hey, man, act like you've been there before. Hey, man, do these different things. This is what the respectability politics shit, right? They're going to talk about respectability politics next week when something happens, but at the same time will tell you, oh, you don't like Deion because Deion is too black. Well, what is black? I'm curious. What the fuck does that mean? Black people, not white people, black people. It's fucking confusing. It is really confusing. Am I not black because I don't wear my AP that I have and flash it around? I don't wear a thick ass Cuban link chain. Like, what is black? You go in here and especially you old motherfuckers, will go in here and you talk about rap music, right? And how it's the decline of our decline. Yet every rapper that was on that sideline of Colorado when they played Colorado State literally emphasizes everything that you say that you do not like. But yet, that's the problem with our young people. Our young people are doing this. Our young people are doing that. Our young people should be doing something better with their lives. But is it, to quote one of my favorite rappers, when he was breaking down, which nobody talks about the Blueprint 3 being the ultimate diss to Nas, which was really Jay-Z's work. He broke down everything. Is it Uchi Wally Wally or is it One Mic? Is it Little Black Girl Lost or Shorty All You for Ice? And what he meant by that is, which one do you want? Or just say, this is how we express ourselves as a collective people. My friend put, the Colorado Bangers think being black is about wearing jewelry on the football field and turning every game into a rap concert. All that's good if you're winning, but it doesn't define being black, especially when you're talking about winning football games. Plenty of black coaches in college football. Why are we obligated to turn into Colorado fans? And I'm gonna what I mean by this is Mike Freeman not black? Anybody know who Mike Freeman is? If you know who Mike Freeman is, please put it in the comments. I didn't know who the Colorado State coach was, although he looks gender fluid. But is he not black? Is Dino Babers not black? He's undefeated. Is Maryland's coach not black? Is Aubrey Huff, my bad, Mike Hall, race fluid, gender fluid too. I think he a little hoe, but you're right. Is I think it's Aubrey. Is Huff at Marshall not black? There are 4 undefeated black coaches right now. Deion's 3-1. Mike Freeman's 3-1. That should all be celebrated. That we're all at schools. Like I saw one person say, like, again, last week, somebody, one of my good friends, an extremely intelligent man I admire so much, literally put that Deion, an attack, not supporting Deion is not supporting black fathers. Are these men not black fathers? Is when Mike Norvell plays Dino Babers for Syracuse, and he has to beat the fuck out of him. Is Mike Norvell now racist because he beat the shit out of him? It's fucking confusing, people. Like, it's many ways to be somebody. And one should be very, very, and again, I want to again say this with my whole chest out. What Deion Sanders is doing in Colorado is amazing. It is extremely good. It is something that should be cheered, and it's something that should be that should be picked up. But there's no reason that Notre Dame versus Duke shouldn't be game day over. Like, there's no reason that other people, like, we're literally showing a minstrel show. Really, really smart and intelligent brother posted this. And I don't agree with everything that my guy AT says, but AT was in his bag on this one. You got that up there? Because a lot of you guys, and I think this is one of the things that happens in arguments, and it's sad what's going on with America in general. You forget that multiple things can be true at the same time. And what happened is amazing. This is what people are saying. Amazing how popular college football has become this year. Like, I responded to the guy's initial tweet, like, you must be new here. Like, most of the people in this chat right now have always loved college football. I don't remember. I fell in love with college football when I played the game called Bill Walsh College Football. That's what turned into NCAA. I love college football so much that I bought, not Game Day? It was 2 versions of college football that you can buy. There was NCAA, and then I forgot the other one's name. But I bought both of them every year. AT put, Deion Sanders is one of the biggest and most charismatic sports icons in history. 1. 2, Colorado is already much better than most thought they'd be. 3, Colorado is still not good. 4, the insane hype of 1 and 2 can conjure some of the most annoying casual fans and haters. There are people who are going over the top on Deion. I want to, like, on both sides. There are some people who, like, what Danny Cannell is doing is very annoying. Danny Cannell is not only going after Deion every week. He's going after Deion supporters like, where were you when Tulane went undefeated to RG3? And RG3's like, bitch, right here. It's a literal tweet. I said to go from 2 and 10 to 12 and 2 is probably one of the biggest flips in college football history. He's like, I literally said that. He's like, matter of fact, here are other ones. And then people said, well, where are your tweets about Tulane? And you know what Danny Cannell didn't have? Any tweets about Tulane. When people go over the top, I'm quick to be like, hey, man, you are tripping right now. That might have a little singe, a little twinge of racist in it. But man, some of y'all is just over the top. It's like he can't do nothing wrong. It's like he invented a lot of this shit. Like he invented jumping on the logo. The thing about Deion fan is you just travel with him. Y'all haven't watched the Jackson State game since he left. By the way, Jackson State has only lost 1 football game. For those who don't know, Jackson State is still pretty good. They lost to FAMU, but again, I like HBCU ball, which is one of the funniest things. I had somebody come in my arguments. Literally, I told him again, don't lose friendships over 30 years. My guy brother came into my comments telling me to uncross my nuts about Deion, and I'm looking bad. I told him to eat a dick, and I will uncross my nuts when he takes Deion's nuts out of his fucking mouth. I wanted to say I will whoop your ass just like I did when we were younger. Oh, and you imagine getting your ass whooped because of Deion Sanders, a man that I actually know and have met, and you never have. You fell for the whole changing HBCU sales pitch, and none of y'all are supporting HBCUs. None of you are even talking about HBCUs anymore. Most. I know there's a couple of them that in here that are. He's got a God complex and an infectious personality like most cult leaders. Pros and cons to it. And it's true. When I look at it, I'm like, damn, this is it. But here's the one really, really sad part about it. My guy Brendan Gant, if you put up NMD Grant, like he came from Florida State. Again, as the adults in the situation, we can handle the exposure and the attention. Yeah, we're gonna pull that up next. It should be a video that's, if you look at NMD Grant. We can handle the exposure, or we should be able to handle the exposure. But we're putting guys in positions that have never had this kind of fishbowl put on them. And there's good and bad that comes with it. And it's all in about how we respond. And I don't know what happened. I'm sure some things were said in the crowd. This guy couldn't have said it, that he attacked. But, you know, like as I said, Carmen said, same capacity you had to give an ass whooping, you got to be able to take one. And I like Brendan Gant. He played at Florida State from Polk County. This is just everybody has a bad moment. And unfortunately, this was a bad moment, which he should be punished. The guy right there in All Black Life in Football, they have a very good podcast. They're based out of Tallahassee. I was wondering how they kept getting all this Colorado access. Now it makes sense. But I was on their podcast a year ago. Go ahead, push. So this guy's behind. He snatches his bandana off his head and tosses it in the crowd. It's like, but like this guy's back is too. Like that guy clearly wasn't saying anything. So now, and then this is so in this, even in this instance, this is when you can know. Again, we talk about role models, and I'm sure Deion's going to pull Gant to the side, but Gant almost went down the right path, and we're going to read his apology. Good. Now that's the tweet that he put out. Yesterday, after the game, I made a wrong decision toward a fan out of frustration because of a fan just being a fan. To that fan base, and more specifically, that individual, I know better, and to myself, that was unacceptable. It could have been avoided. I do apologize because that is not me, my character, or who I strive to be, and that is definitely not Colorado football. Hashtag stay blessed. Wow. That's something called accountability. But Miles, if you can click on that tweet real quick and go down a little bit, scroll down. All right, click two down. Right there, yeah, click on that one. And one last thought for anybody. I don't bother anyone in capitalized letters unless they bother me first. At the end of the day, wrong is wrong, but don't create your own narrative. We went from accountability to taking no accountability very, very fast. Like you're saying that fan antagonized you. Like we don't see it on video. Maybe when you were walking up, but you had literally walked past that guy. But this is the problem with having too much exposure. It happens. We just have to be real. My guy did bring up a good point. Mike Hall, why isn't anyone talking about Travis Hunter live streaming video games during the Colorado game? Pool season put, I can't find the member button. Again, you got to go. I'll inbox you a link afterwards, but you can't do it from the only way you could do it from your phone is if you look at it in your Safari, your web browser. That's the only way you could do it from your phone, guys, if you want to become a member. Other than that, you have to do it from a web browser. So you have to do it from your phone, from your computer, or I think you could do it from a tablet. It just, for whatever reason, it won't let you do it from your phone. We got 55 people watching right now. Appreciate it. How many likes do we got? We got 34 likes though. So I need y'all to take a moment, go push that like button, and we're going to get into some. I gave my black coaches their flowers already. Little FSU Clemson real quick. Everybody, the real part about FSU and Clemson right now, shout out for those who don't know, Florida State won. I'm not going to really go into the big breakdown because I'm going to try to do a Monday morning quarterback. So if you got 10 plays, I want people to go find plays right now from the game that you can see. If you want to get a breakdown of those games, just at me on social media, and we'll go through those. One of them I saw a couple running plays People keep asking me what's wrong with the running game. I want to be able to show a breakdown of that, some of the passing plays, some of the defensive plays. We're going to kind of go into that. People seem to like that when I did it. Miles, you'd be proud of me, dog. I actually kind of almost found out how to like do some of the stuff you did on StreamYard. Like I had video up on that bitch. I had all kinds of shit. Like it was crazy, dog. Because normally I would just pull it up on my phone and be like, but like I actually had it up there, man. I was proud of myself in that moment. So yeah, that was that's a great question. Why was he in a draft suit? But yeah. Chill, dog.
Yeah, I just read that.
Don't put that on. I hope you accept my apology. He's like, now that you mention it, I'm still bleeding inside my chest. But here, Charlie Murphy, 2 bitches. Shout out before I go into the game. I really believe we as Den Media Group have really changed the course of Florida State's special teams. If you haven't noticed, ever since we launched last year, the Tits for Fits campaign, Ryan Fitzpatrick, has been playing very, very good. And we need to oh yeah, I don't even know how to begin to talk. Did you see Tiger King? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to get Tiger King's attorney on the show. Would y'all be willing to go Q&A with John Phillips? John Phillips is the one who helped Tiger King get his patents. He's representing him. He's doing all those kind of different things. Would y'all like to, if I'm going to try to get one guy to come on and give us a breakdown of our pro prospects, and I'm going to get John Phillips. If you would like to see John Phillips come on my show, please give me a show of hands. I know John very well. John is a dope person. He's great. And again, always like if it just so happens to be a young boxing, what was it? Is it boxing bosom or well-bosomed young lady in college, and you're willing to give your service and sacrifice, please make sure we be generous to our guy Fitz. He deserves it. But what we're gonna do, Miles, I started my show off yesterday. If you can go click on the first video, the first link on the FSU versus Clemson. Yes. We're gonna go into we're gonna break this guy down. Florida State is 4-0. I never talked about Florida State being disrespected normally, but now the disrespect is a hand. And one of the things why I'm mad I haven't got the streaming shit yet, because we are putting the sassiest. This is another represent. Black men are not a monolith. We are not a monolith. We are this, but I do believe that there is I don't believe in conspiracy theories like that, but I'm starting to believe in the conspiracy theory of trying to weaken the black man, because this is who y'all put out there. Y'all either put the former football players that thought like this, or skill, which we got to talk about how Shannon Sharp told the truth. Remember I said Shannon Sharp wanted to whoop the fuck out of Skip Bayless when he disrespected him? He finally came out and said it on Stephen A. Smith. He's like, it took everything in him. I was like, I saw it. I know how it'd be. Because the first thing that fans do, and when he said that would have actually took me over the top. Yeah. The other stuff would have been like, I'm mad that you just, as a friend, you disrespected everything that I worked my life for, but now you just sunned me. Yeah. What you gonna do? Put your glasses back on. Man, I would have whooped Skip Bayless's ass. I would have told him that I had enough money that I could go do whatever the fuck I want to do. but this sassafras bone smuggling motherfucker right here bothers me, because he bothers me the same way that a lot of fans of other fan bases bother me. I say this all the time. I joke now that Deion had 3 wins that nobody cared about. Much like Dino Babers at Syracuse has wins that nobody cares about, but he's undefeated. But you can't. I want to talk about Florida barely beating Tennessee, but that was a good win. Tennessee was ranked high. I didn't think that they were going to win. Somebody won. I've never been a hater. Everybody gets a bad game. Everybody has somebody that they struggle against. Clemson has Syracuse, who actually, ironically, I think that's who they play this week. But here's a guy who completely disrespected the entire essence of Florida State. Like, and LSU, as long as a bunch of other people, and I think he's doing it for clicks. But sometimes I got time, and yesterday I had time, and I got a little bit of time today. I want to dissect his opinion a little bit, if we can. And we're going to talk about other shit. Thick tongue having ass, boy, God, push play on this. We're gonna need to like be there. One, this picture says it all. Can they see this? Is this visible? Like, he looks like, are we Earth 316? Which one in the Marvel universe is we're supposed to be? Like, he looks like alternative version Prowler. And the only reason I say Prowler is because Prowler is Childish Gambino in the movies, and he looks like he wants to be Childish Gambino. What's Childish Gambino's real name? The dude who created ATL, if you don't know who he is, but he's a rapper. Donald Glover. He looks like alternative universe Donald Glover. He looks like he's about to say something sassy. And what I don't, so in the other part of it is, I told my son, one of my son's godfathers is like me, Black Republican former president of the city council here in Jacksonville. I trust him in his politics because any black man who doesn't care about their edge and being crispy is not a black man whose opinion I want to trust. And I'm telling you guys this, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle they sit on. If you want to know why I don't trust the guy, the distinguished gentleman from South Carolina who's running for president, it's because his hairline is egregious. I don't trust anybody who looks like they have good hair but doesn't come on camera with a crispy hairline and he works for Fox Sports. He has a whole battery behind him. He knows that there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people watching everything. He doesn't care. He's just taking a very, very good video in his mother's basement. Let's go talk about the sassy motherfucker real quick.
I don't know what to do with.
Whoa, wait a minute. Why do you sound like that? Why are you? I don't know. Oh, my bad. I apologize. He came out real zesty on that, man. Like, no, the zest was strong on that one right there. All right, let's listen to what this motherfucker got to say.
With Florida State.
The facial expression.
We've established it is not the number 4 team in the country to me. And it has never been the number 4 team in the country to me.
All right, push pause.
And the team.
We have established that Florida State is not the number 4 team in the nation to me. To me. It almost got, now listen, at least my dog Jalen is very zesty. But Jalen is one of the best corners in the league when he's healthy. But this is very, very, Alan May Adams, my beloved grandmother, would say this boy tastes his words. He is having a delicious ass conversation on this show. All right, go ahead.
Team they beat and get so much credit for, LSU was never in the top 5 for me.
One.
They began at 4.
He's the only person in the nation that does not think LSU is a good team. And this is the problem I have. Like, dog, even if you thought LSU was top 10, right? Maybe top 15. Well, just give us the props. But go ahead.
14. I got a hard time moving them past 10. So I'm looking at Florida State, who got that win against LSU, but also just barely beat Boston College.
Whoa, push pause. Them bees is whipping his ass. Yeah. Barely beat Boston. That motherfucker beatboxing. Like, beatboxing, dog. Barely beat Boston College. Okay, cool. Like,
who also
Raymond, you're right. Ramon, you're right.
Nearly lost to Holy
Jacks. Definitely needs Alpha Male Jacks. Y'all get this guy. I think he's supposed to be. I think he's in the Oklahoma area. I think we can get him some help. Not sure. But I think he's already gone, man. Listen, no judgment. That it is not. I am an ally. What you identify as is not a disability. But this man definitely is. Definitely, you cannot tell me that if you couldn't tell me if Taylor Swift or any of damn, I can't even think of the tight end's name now. Shit, Beyonce walk in, I can promise you he's more into dancing like Beyonce than he is into Beyonce. How about that? We could just say that, and that's cool. That's his preference. But go ahead, push play.
Cross. Tell me what you want about Jordan Travis. Tell me what you want about Keon Coleman. Tell me what you want about Jared Verse. Tell me what you want about Jaheim Bell. You should not be in a dogfight with Boston College.
Happens.
Especially when you were up 31-10. And now you want me to trust you to go into Death Valley?
Why did he say 31-10
against a Clemson team that's been
Hold on, my bad.
dogged?
Hold on, because we're missing this. Go back a little bit on that. Roll back a little bit, because this is his whole argument right here. You shouldn't be down, especially not push play. Let me see if we got
up 31-10. And now you want me to trust you to go into Death Valley against a Clemson team that's been dogged out and expect me to pick you? Well, we've established that. I'm picking Clemson. But you understand my point here. Clemson lost a weird game, 28-7 to Duke. Turns out Duke is good.
Push pause.
We learned that.
So Clemson can lose a weird game to Duke. And this is before Boston College got their ass whipped by Louisville. And anyways, just go ahead and push play on this. This is a sassy shit.
That. And Clemson was not as bad as the score would indicate. Cade Klubnik played the worst game I've ever seen him play. Hadn't played like that since. However,
who did they play?
Now that Dabo Swinney gets to go back to calling them little old Clemson and nobody expects anything from, and I'm the only person willing to rank them. Imagine that. We live in a world. This is my objectivity on display. Those of y'all to go back with me understand where I'm coming from when I say this. I ranked Clemson when nobody else would in week 4 because I think it's a good football team. Just sit with that for a while. I rank Clemson.
Okay. Quick. What is all right? We got people who listen to us from everywhere. It's not great sweatsuit season, great sweatpants season. Great sweatpants season starts October 1st. We can get away with wearing a little bit of stuff. It was pretty nice weather in the evenings and stuff in Clemson, but it's been a heat wave in the South. I think this guy's in Oklahoma. Anybody living is it cool enough in Oklahoma to be wearing a turtleneck? Because he wore a purple turtleneck on the video where he was doubling down on. Now he says Clemson isn't that good. I just couldn't find it, but I saw it. I'm like, why does he keep wearing turtlenecks? And this is how I know he has no conviction on what he's saying. Let's go back and look at him. Either that, it doesn't look like anybody wearing a turtleneck right now and speaking this energetic. And there ain't no beads of sweat on his forehead. Tells me that he is either a petite male or he's wearing a lot of makeup, and it doesn't really look like he's wearing, as a guy who's in TV, it doesn't look like he's wearing the foundation stuff that you would put on your forehead to kind of batch up the sweating. But all right, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to pick Clemson to upset Florida State, but I don't think Florida State's that good. Now, Florida State goes and get that win. I'll be the first person to tell you about it right here on the #1 college football show.
You know what he didn't do? Let's go. Miles, I promise you, if you make this into a reel, which would be great. I want to add this sassy ass motherfucker. I want all this. I want all the smoke. Y'all know it's only one community that I will never disrespect, and I'm still an ally. But even if we got to get a little bit of the extra shit in there, I'm cool with that. This motherfucker was deleting tweets about FSU. He was going ham on us, bro. He has yet to say anything about the victory. On his personal one or on the one for his business. This is why, men, it's important to be a father to your sons. Damien, do we have the Funk Flex? The Funk Flex voice? No, he lied. Let me see if there's anything else on this guy that I really want to listen to, because this is really sassy.
Put it another way. Put 2023 Oklahoma up against 2023 Florida State and tell me you pick at Florida State.
Pick a Florida
You
State.
a bold-faced lie. You a bold-faced lie.
I beat
Clemson, that's my pick.
Thank you for watching the #1 college.
This is just, I don't want to do that. But then just like, it's just, yeah, like he hadn't hit puberty yet. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, they're going to get doing that one. They're going to, never thought it would be Miles that fucking gets me bammed. Anyways, if you're under a rock, this is basically what happened right here. That video, Miles, that you got right here. Let's just show nothing greater than being them. Michael Jordan memes are the greatest. I love AI. Everybody's crying about AI, and I'll be good and dead before Terminator movies actually come out. That I think my sons will be dead too. The only ones I really care about right now. So if they're kids, that's on them to worry about. But until then, there's things where you can just put somebody's face on it and like they'll do all the work for you. And this is great because this is exactly what happened to Death Valley. Even though it's so, you know how I knew Clemson wasn't going to win? Because I got a chance to witness this. And before I get into this, Clemson, South Carolina is a beautiful place. I wouldn't want to live there. Like, this is my ignorance showing. It looks like you know how you ever watch like the antebellum stuff, like the Southern, like the movies, and like even with Forrest Gump, right? And even like you see the trees and it looks beautiful. But like then you also remember, like, I don't know if they really like my kind. Yeah, I see trees, and this is me as a history major to emphasize in African American studies and Egyptian. I see trees, and man, I start to seeing like the past, and I'd be like, man, I wonder, that's a strong tree right there, man. Like, I wonder who's been on that thing for a swing. I wonder what kind of fruit that tree bear. So this is south, but yes. So I drove to it was like North Carolina. We know about Riley, Tobacco Road is a real thing, and it is terrifying. It looks like everything you remember, like you see about the South shall rise again. But I can see the beauty in it. It's like Clemson is a small town in South Carolina. It was a lot of greenery, the drive, during the day. The people were so nice to me. Now, somebody bust my bubble. It could have been the green jacket that I had on because I was representing the Gator Bowl. But they were just like, man, I was like, I was like, do you guys know where Media Check-in is? Well, Media Check-in, it's hillier than Tallahassee. Media Check-in is right up that hill right there. You going up there and you do that. I was like, just walk up that hill. And I was like, it was like, you know what, buddy? Don't worry about it, buddy. Come on, let's go there together. We're going to come up there. We're going to find. I'm like, sir, there's no need. Nope. I want to make sure you get to your location properly. And I was like, damn, y'all are really fucking nice. And it was like, you had the college thing. I like the way they remixed it. Like they play their fight song. And it's like, they go like CLEMSON. But then the kids go, motherfucking N. I'm like, oh shit. All right, I like that. It was high energy, very energetic, really good people. I gave one of the security guards a Gator Bowl pin. He let me on the sidelines. I got over to FSU, and I told my guy who's with me, Dane, he got a chance to experience the all-in experience and see how much love FSU gives me. I told him, if we stay here on Clemson sideline, they're going to kick us off, bro. We don't have no band. I don't know nobody over here. So if we get the FSU sideline, and now that I think about it, we in the South. I was like, if we could just get on over yonder, if we could get on over there, that's the free lands over there. If we could get over there, I promise you they're not going to kick me off on FSU sideline. And he was like, all right, man, if you think so. We went over there and like literally, he's an FSU grad too. He was like, yo, imagine going somewhere and meeting all your favorite celebrities. And they all stopped to talk to me. And they all looked at me because I am the weirdo in FSU because nobody knows what I do. I don't know what I do. They're like, why you got a green jacket on, James? Why you got tax slayer? Why you got Gator? Are you here? Like, so even when I was in the press box, I saw Barton, the greatest fullback in FSU history, William Floyd. He comes in, you represent the Gator Bowl? He's like, I thought you know what, whatever. And then I go down there, and then like Mike Norvell's like, you know what, James? I don't even want to know what you do. Like everything's like nothing's out of the realm of possibility for what you do. Like I have no fucking idea what you do or how you were in the places that you were in. But I'm like, Visa, everywhere you want to be. And we were just there and just hung out and did all that stuff. But it was a great game, great atmosphere. To some of the, again, I did a full hour and 20-minute show on it. And if there's any, and I'm going to probably do some plays breakdown. So again, if you got any plays that you actually have, just hit me up on the inbox. I'll take them. We'll break it down. We'll do a little Monday morning quarterback shit. But I am, do you have that sent the video about how I woke up this morning? No, that's somebody else's. You know what? That's fine. Don't even worry about it. Play the one with the church. I was preaching on yesterday's show. And I keep telling y'all, man, it is lazy to continue to blame Adam Fuller for all of our problems as a team and not blame the entire team. That was this team has yet to play a full game where they're together as a team. And you could blame Fuller, but Fuller also won that game. And what do you mean by that, James? Our offense scored absolutely no touchdowns in regulation in the second half. We scored the final one, and then when we did score a touchdown in overtime, what did the defense do? 4 stops. We haven't played complimentary football yet. When we play complimentary football, it'll probably bring a tear to my eye. And what do you mean, James, by it'll bring a tear to my eye? Bring a tear to my eye because we would be so good, it would be so dominant. But I say all this to say that we are really, really fucking good. And I think people need to just step back and enjoy being good. That's my prayer for all of you guys. Step back and just really enjoy being 4-0. I don't know how any of you guys enjoy your lives. Like, but all I saw the first half was criticize. Like, damn. I'm like, yo, and it's hard to follow because if you're not watching the game and you just like, go on Twitter, like, I'm just gonna watch the timeline, get a good feel of how the game's going. You would think Florida State was losing 31-0. It was 17-14 going into halftime. I'm like, guys, this is just like LSU. 17-14 going into LSU. And I put out one tweet. What have I told y'all the last 3 years that Coach Fuller does better than almost anybody in the nation? Make second half adjustments. They make the guys go 3 and out. Our offense can't do anything. But then I think I got a hymn with it, but I wish I could find it. We don't need to show it again. Go watch yesterday's show. Nephew, Kalen DeLoach, comes in, fucking kills Cade Klubnik, gets a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and scores a touchdown. Excuse me, sack, forced fumble, fumble recovery, touchdown. Very difficult to do. But does it, and that's the touchdown that ties the game up. We have numerous chances to be able to try to score. We can't get moving. J Trav is injured. Then J Trav goes to Trey's big brother, Keon Coleman, and he dunks on somebody in the end zone. It was beautiful. It was magistry. Florida State beats Clemson. But a lot of the stuff that we did do wrong was we got to get our running game fixed. We only had 22 yards of rushing. Clemson. The funny thing is, and I do have this posted up, Miles. Shoot, I forgot where it's posted up at. Oh yeah, if you look at the I think it's the first big game, James. No, the second one under that. Yeah, so yeah, put that up there. I want the box score. Now, I want people to look at this box score. This was last year's box score. Which is funny because you know what we were ranked, what Florida State was ranked this weekend? Number 4. If you look at this box score right here, Clemson, number 4 ranked team in the nation, playing Florida State unranked at the time because that was the third loss in a 3-game skid. Florida State dominated Clemson in first downs. Florida State had almost over 100 yards of more total yards than Clemson. Florida State had an exponential amount of basically 50 more yards rushing, 50 more yards passing. That's what almost put them there. Clemson had more penalties than Florida State. The only thing that Clemson won in that game was the time of possession, and Clemson beat Florida State 34-28 by 1 touchdown. Tough loss. So, and then also in that, that's when we learned this new phrase. Clemson won something called the middle eights. And like they talk about the last 4 minutes of the second quarter, first 4 minutes of the third quarter, they practice trying to win that. So that's how they get their jump and their edge on teams, right? Basically, you want to win the second and third quarter is basically what it comes down to. You want to know something funny, though? Florida State was ranked 4 this year coming in there. Clemson was unranked. You want to know what all Clemson dominated? Every fucking aspect of that game from a statistics standpoint. I'm going to go over it for you so that y'all don't even have to do your homework or your research. Just from the team stats. What did I say Florida State had? We had 28. Florida State had 16 first downs this game. Clemson had 25. Clemson had 429 yards of total offense. Florida State had 311 yards of total offense. My bad, I didn't bring this up. Florida State had, I believe, 2 turnovers in that game. We lost the turnover battle. Florida State had no turnovers this game. You know who had a turnover? Clemson. You know who was more penalized this game, even though Clemson fans are crying about penalties? Florida State. When you look at the box score, I'm going to look at the game cast so you can see the touchdowns. You know who won the second and third quarter? Florida State. It's literally a flip of the previous year. And it's what made that game so interesting is that who cares about how you won as long as you fucking win? What I said on the show the other day, treat your college team or your pro team like you treat your relationships, or you should. A lot of people leave really, really good relationships because they think the grass is greener, or they'll say some shit like, I could do bad all by myself. We live in an interdependent reality. You probably could do bad all by yourself, but you're probably doing worse than you could if you're with somebody who actually likes you. You made good decisions, right? What I mean by that is, in a spread, we don't play in the SEC. I think if we played in the SEC, we would be different. The SEC doesn't have a lot of spread teams. There's a specific type of brand of ball that the SEC and the Big Ten play. The ACC, Florida State has played nothing but spread teams. When you're playing spread teams with decently athletic quarterbacks, you are going to give up big plays. You need to play a bend but don't break style of defense. I understand that, and my goal is to win. And it's funny because Fuller had a top 15 defense last year. You know what the detractors of Fuller said? You can't go by total defense. That's not indicative of what Fuller is. Okay. Fuller has the 101 ranked defense before we went into the game. You know what the detractors of Fuller's used? That measuring stick, that statistic. Like, you just don't like the guy. But the one thing I always say is, here's the reality. We scored 3 points in the first quarter. We scored no points in the fourth quarter. We scored no offensive points in the second half of regulation. Everybody blames Fuller in the defense, but that's the defense. You have to play complementary football. That's what I talked about with the Jags. Your offense has to help your defense out by scoring points. The defense stops them. When you get a 3 and out, consecutive 3 and outs, the offense has to reward the defense with its score. And when you're not doing that, that's tough. But I also understand that there are lows, there are highs and lows in this game. But one thing that Mike Norvell has, what I also look at Mike Norvell, he is a young coach. Mike Norvell is a few years older than me. We just put him in a position as the head coach to where we kind of give him a little bit more than what we would normally give somebody. Just fine. He's earned it. He is still learning on the job. This was his first time going into Death Valley and getting a victory over Clemson. You know how when he beat Miami the first time in Doak, beat him by a little bit. Needed a prayer. 4th and 14. Should not have been converted. I think he knows how to beat Clemson now. I think he feels comfortable beating Clemson now. Sometimes you just got to get that monkey off your back. Now Mike has a victory over all of our rivals. I still don't think Clemson is a rival, but I do say this: Death Valley is a tough play to play. They do have to get off the field. Renegade puts James. They have to get off the field on 3rd and long. It's taking away possessions from the offense. This crazy. Oh, yes and no. We went 3 and out numerous times. 3 and out is taking possessions away from your offense. Like we cut down exponentially on the amount of times 3rd and longs that they were able to get. Again, going to the team stats, they will tell you exactly what they were. They were below 50% on 3rd down efficiency. They were 6 for 14. They were 1 for 2 on 4th down. What does that mean? That means the defense was getting them off of the field 3rd down at a rate that's good for winning games. That's just the truth. You can't fall into a narrative because we don't necessarily like a guy or we feel like somebody else might have better. The numbers state that we have to do better on offense. It's the truth. I think they both will. Shout out to Pool Season on renewing that membership. Oh, my bad. I forgot. But that's basically it with the FSU shit. Y'all can go listen to yesterday's show if y'all want. Ooh. Hold on. Might have some breaking news. I may make this one a special member-only live event. Hold on. What date and time works for you? All right, so we might make both of them. We will post it live. We will post it like on Den Media Group, but the live and the question and answers, we're going to make this for members only. I just got contacted by Nephew. If you listen to the show, you know who Nephew is. Nephew, we might have Nephew on a little bit and talk to Nephew a little bit about the season and how things are going. Also, we'll probably do that as a member-only event. As far as us talking to Tiger King's attorney, I'm gonna try to get that going. We've made an the members have voted. Member only event. So if you want to check it out live and be able to ask some questions and be able to check it out, again, memberships are as low as $3.99. All-in members may get a chance to even get a call in for that and give my guy some praise or whatever. But we'll have 3. If I do it right this week, we will have, because we're not going to have obviously a breakdown show because we're playing the bye week. We will have 3 member-only live events coming up this week. I told you guys I want to put up more content, so we're gonna bless those who are members. And then if you're not, you'll still be able to see it. You just won't be able to see it live. So it's like we're not going to restrict it from you. But yeah, so Nephew hit me up on that. Again, a win is a win. We'll talk about Florida and Miami on Wednesday's show a little bit. We're gonna wrap this up with that was Travis Kelce is what I was trying to think of. Damn it, I hate when I have that shit happen. We got to stop this in general as a people. Because I follow everybody. Black women aren't the only ones to do this. White women do this too. But like, one, I want to give a shout out to Miss Kelce, the Mama Kelce. She might be the best mom. I don't even know if there's a Daddy Kelce. But to have an all-pro center son, an all-pro tight end son, both of them have won Super Bowls. They played each other in the Super Bowl last year. I think the other Kelce won a Super Bowl, right? Was he on the Philly team? I think he was at least a rookie, I believe, when that happened, because it wasn't that long ago. And now your baby boy is dating one of the biggest pop stars in the world, in Taylor Swift. And, you know, and sisters, I love y'all to death. Imagine if that would be her daughter, if they get married. That's a hell of a resume, ain't it? 2 Super Bowl winning sons, 2 All-Pro sons, 2 NFL, and a daughter-in-law that's a 12-time Grammy Award winner. And the funniest part is, I want you to. You can tell he's made an entire shift, right? Click on the picture, Miles. We got to click on the individual pictures. Now, this is what happens when you're eating collard greens, ribs, Popeyes a lot. Look at the beard. Look at the fade, crispy. I would trust this man if he told me that Clemson was going to beat Florida State. Not like the little sassafras motherfucker, but right here, this Travis Kelce, that looks like a ball. That everybody talks about. He is appropriating Colorado culture right now. This is what every white Colorado fan is going to look like if Deion Sanders is there for 10 more years. And I'm not even going to lie. I don't even know chick name. She fine. She is pretty. But I'm not going to pretend if you push to the other picture, Miles. Actually, don't even scroll too far because I like that gif. Yeah. Look at Travis Kelce now. Travis Kelce looks like almost every military officer. Not like the role like captain. Like if you go look at the military, like the generals and the colonels and stuff, they all have that look right there with that same mustache. He looks like he could be a highway patrolman and he's gonna pull you over for going 5 miles over the speed limit. He looks like, buddy, is there anything in your car? Anything we need to search for? And this is what happens when you're dating Taylor Swift. You got to look like that is a complete 180, complete shift. Can you click on that picture to the right, Miles? Like, if you don't tell me that that's not what Travis Kelce is looking like. And before you get on me, Travis Kelce is on my fantasy football team. You see that guy right there? Yeah, that one right there. You can't tell me that's not what Travis Kelce is looking like. Like Jim Carrey. Now, in that movie, if I remember correctly, Jim Carrey has 3 adopted black sons. So, like, before you get on me, just remember this is just jokes right here. I don't care as long as he's healthy. But the reason why everybody's talking about this now, black women are like, I can't believe he punted. Excuse me, no, not punted. They said he fumbled. He fumbled her to get Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is, I don't really ask what y'all talking about, man. Taylor Swift is like pretty. I can see that she's not my type. She's too skinny for me.
She's not as bad as the girl.
Not at all. But she's worth $750 million. We just talked about when women talk about Sierra and Russell, or when they talk about other things, they always talk about the money. When we were talking about the actress that went full groupie mode with Usher, when you make the most money, you get to make the rules. And all black men said, wait a minute. Y'all sure this is how y'all want to roll? Are y'all sure this is how y'all want to roll? She went and bought herself a man. I, in no capacity, have ever heard anybody say that I fumbled into $750 million. If I ever fumble something that bad, like that way, that is a hellacious. That's good. I want that in my life. I need them kind of fumbles. Them the turnovers we need. That's the hell of a high turnover chain. That being said, she is a beautiful woman. Both of them are beautiful women. We have to stop this shit. Because the truth is when it's the same thing with Deion. Like when you have conversations like this, the only argument the only way you can kind of defend yourself is to clap back. So if he fumbled, that's not a fumble. A fumble is an accident. Kalen DeLoach knocked Cade Klubnik out and he fumbled the ball. Cade did not mean to do that because if he didn't do that, Florida State wouldn't have won. But you know what happens when you're 4th and long in your own territory? You punt the ball to the other team so that you can get out of bad situations. I'm sorry. A lot of y'all weren't fumbled. You were fucking punted to the other team. Because I'm sure in their relationship, the reason why they broke up is probably a little bit of both. It might not even be a bad thing. Like sometimes you just be tired of motherfuckers. Like it's not tired of the motherfucker. You're tired of the situation. You're busy. You really don't have the time to cater to another individual and what their needs are in the manner in which, especially when you hear people say, I deserve more. When motherfuckers start telling me what they deserve, I start saying, you're right. Go get it. Flourish, queen. I'll use that in a heartbeat on you, the flourish queen. But you know, what you end up finding out, because I'm kind of cool with a lot of my exes, except for one. And I don't talk to them. But you know, social media, I don't know how to really delete people on social media. So I don't have the energy to go and do all of that. So they'll pop up on my timeline. And you know what I always notice, like with most of them? None of them are doing better. So the market dictates your worth. So whatever you thought you deserved, the market clearly is showing you deserve less. That being said, it's your right to go and find and flourish. And I always tell people, like, I am not the best. Please go find better. I encourage you to go find better. The reality is I'm not a dog. I never go back. So like it's a bad thing. So but pool season, shout out to my dog. Pool season was a member. I think he got gifted one, but he became a member. But a lot of guys, if you want to become a member, I don't know if it'll be tonight. I doubt the member thing will be tonight. I got to check out when nephew got time. I got to set this shit up. So we'll set up some of these member only events. But we will have them this week. Shout out to Mandy. Mandy follows me on Facebook. Very, very loyal to the tailgates. Love them. I was tired of doing tailgates until I saw a year ago. Yesterday was we dropped the video of I think it was the Clemson tailgate. That shit was fire. We will have 3:30 tailgate. That means we will 3:30 kick for Virginia Tech. That means tailgate we will. So Duke is officially sold out. Appreciate that, B. Lim. The tailgate link will be posted up soon for people to be able to purchase. Let's try to get, I don't know, man. 1,000 people is a lot. Like, I don't know if I ever want 1,000 people again to feed, but 300, I think 300 or more would be dope. I mean, that's the goal. So remember, these tailgates do go to support the foundation and the different things. Please, if you would, guys, remember Jack Coleman. We are doing a try to get a package together for him and his family to be able to come over to Tallahassee for the Duke game. Just remember, we do giveaways. We do all kinds of different stuff. This is literally the only podcast that's literally trying to give back to the people. Again, and always remember, because I want y'all to use that Deion mentality that he has people. I wish I was that charismatic. If you don't support the tailgate and you don't support the podcast by becoming a member, if you don't support by clicking the like button, you might be racist, even if you're black. So on that note, I appreciate you guys chopping up with me. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. And members, I'll be seeing you guys quite often this week. So become a member. That's the moral of the story. Peace.